vibe. Come let we lime, come let we vibe. Lime vibe. Oh, lime vibe.
So, good afternoon once again. Welcome to another Lime Vibe podcast. I'm your host, Yuri Kemp, and I'm joined today by my guest, Miss Janine Coombs. How you doing, Janine?
I'm doing good, Yuri. Doing good. And how are you?
I'm all right, Janine. Thank you for doing the show with me today. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
So you're a musician, singer, songwriter in Jamaica, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I do alternative jazz, reggae, soul, fusion kind of music. Yeah.
Okay. So how's that alternative jazz working out for you? What is alternative jazz?
Well, it's basically a cross fusion of alternative music, crossing as well with jazz, and so it has that own flair, its own flavor, for me. And then with the fusion part, it's whatever else I feel to put into it. Like if I feel to mix, for example, I did a song and I had worked with some guys in Indonesia, and so we had that Karonchon kind of bass line in there because that just dropped in and it gave it a different kind of feeling. So it has that kind of fusion kind of stuff,
Okay,
but the stronger elements are alternative and jazz.
So how long were you making music? How long were you into alternative jazz or making music in general? How long were you in the music business?
Yeah, okay, so I've been in the music business since, I don't know really, to say professionally, I guess since 12.
Well,
Yeah. I started off singing at the school choir, my high school choir, and then from there just been performing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started off as a child, 12 years old. Okay. How do you
Yeah.
like performing? How do you like the performance versus the recording? How do you like performance versus recording?
Honestly, I prefer recording. I guess that's the introverted part of me, just liking to be in the creative process and getting the things together and getting what's in the head out, and and then the extroverted part of me is the performing, getting it out there, seeing the reaction to it live with people, and working with musicians and arranging things differently, and just reaching out with people personally. I think that's the live part, the extroverted part.
Okay. Well, you seem like a sweet, humble girl. So you were born in Jamaica, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where exactly in Jamaica?
I was born in Kingston. Well, Kingston and St. Andrew, I would say. It's really St. Andrew because really Kingston is downtown.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
I have two siblings.
Two other siblings other than you.
Yeah.
They have talent like you or no?
Well, my sister is a visual artist in textile and fiber textile, and she's well known internationally.
Okay.
And my brother, he's into photography with using, micro photography.
Okay, but no one else in music like you.
No, the extended family is into music, I would say, like me. My cousin was Cynthia Slosh. Well-known performer, singer, and then there are musicians on in the family as well. So yeah, but nobody immediate.
Okay. So let's talk about how we actually met, though. I met you at the Kamala Harris performance when she was inaugurated. So how do you feel being on that showcase?
It was a wonderful experience to be asked. My friend Sean Walsh from What's Up New York, he got me onto that, knowing what I do and stuff. He's like, you'll be good on this, and his friend was asking him, does he know any musicians? And so they got me onto that, and that was it felt really good to be on it, to be representing the Caribbean, and give a tribute to a Caribbean president, vice presidents, really,
Okay. It's historic, and you got on history.
Yes.
So I bet you're beaming with pride that Miss Harris has Jamaican descent, has Jamaican heritage, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
My sisters. Okay. So what song did you sing that day, though? I can't remember.
So that day I sang a song called Dreamer that I wrote, and that was on my first album. And it just basically was a song just saying, you know, dreams can come true, you know, keep
Yes, I remember.
persevering, keep going. Yeah.
I remember dreams can. Yeah, I remember it now. I remember it now. Okay, like that's what struck out. That's what stuck out to me. You know, because the way you sung it and the way you played the guitar at the same time, it kind of like it reached me. You know, like I said, this girl
Mm,
has real serious talent, man. She needs to be put on a pedestal and a platform, man. And more than above all the other people that were there, my mind stuck to you. My eyes stuck to
okay.
you particularly. Yeah. Because you had a great voice and you had great talent. I love the way you were strumming the guitar. It was really good, Janine. First of all,
Thank you.
should I call you Janine or should I call you JKuhl?
Either one. I mean, the stage name is Janine JKuhl, but if you call me Janine, it's fine. If you call me JKuhl, it's fine. Janine JKuhl is
Janine.
fine.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
call you Janine then. So, what was your first song, Janine, that you ever made?
Oh, my first what ever made like as a human living
Yeah, yeah,
or recorded, you
yeah.
know?
Well, both. Well, both.
Okay.
Tell me the first song you actually made, the first song you recorded for audience.
Okay, for audience, I guess you're going back to way back because I'm
Mm,
an animal person.
okay.
And when I was really little, I used to sing a lot for our animals here. So we had a lot of pigeons, like probably over 100 pigeons.
You sing
Um,
pianos.
and I sang to the pigeons some songs I just made up on spot. Yes.
Singing to the pigeons. That's wild. So tell me more about singing to the pigeons. How was it therapeutic for you?
It was just me just out there amongst nature, and I guess I mean as a child
Mm,
I just felt good to sing. They were my audience. They were there. You know, I didn't have many friends over the house or anything like that. So some of the pigeons were there and they were the audience, and they looked calm listening to me, you know.
that's so sweet, Janine. That is so sweet. Singing to the pigeons. I guess everything starts with humble beginnings, don't they?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess the pigeons still love you for it. So,
Yes. Yeah.
so
And then my first recorded song was called Revolution.
Revolution.
Yes.
Oh,
Uh
what spurred on Revolution?
Pardon?
Which spurred on Revolution? Why do you think Revolution?
Okay, so I was, you know, a lot of things were going on in the news, and I was in high school at this point in time.
Mhm.
And so I was around age 14 or so when I wrote this song on my guitar.
Mhm.
And it was like, you know, news, people is being murdered. It's
Mhm.
constantly 7 o'clock, turn on the news, this happening. So I felt as a youth, you know,
Mhm.
we need a revolution to happen, a
Mhm.
revolution of love and not war, a
Yes.
revolution for society to change. And so I wrote this song for at least some acknowledgement of that change to happen.
Mhm.
And there's a funny thing with that song. I performed it at a school event for parent teachers meeting, and my mom was there in the audience,
Mhm.
and there's this man beside her when I was singing the song, and he started to cry,
Mm.
and he felt the song and the words, and he's like, you know, I haven't been treating my daughter right, and this song just hit me. And
Mhm.
that's what he told my mom, and she's like, "Oh, that's my daughter singing." He's like, "What?" But you know, there is there the song was being impactful and using having its purpose being done. So
Yes.
that's the first song. Yes.
Yes, music does hit the soul, doesn't it? It does change the soothe the savage beast.
Yeah.
So you have other performances as well because you're also the Tropic Spin first inaugural Tropic Spin first place winner, aren't you? How do you feel about
Yes.
the contest?
Oh, I am so delighted to be a winner of that competition and to be, you know, to represent Jamaica on such a large platform and
Mm.
to be the first winner of the inaugural competition. And it seems to have create quite a wave here. And you know,
Good, good.
it didn't hit me as
Mm.
how big it was until somebody said to me, not many people have won songwriting competitions from the Caribbean or
Mm.
from Jamaica, period. And then that's when it really hit me that, wow, this is something really historical and big.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you Jamaica was really buzzing about the Tropic Spin and how you
Oh,
won.
it's still buzzing. Yeah.
Really? Wow, amazing. We're doing it again actually.
Oh,
We're doing it
you
again.
are.
Yeah. It's gonna be an every year thing. We're doing it again on in July 22nd. So if you could tell your friends and tell your compatriots and all your musical buddies that hey, we're doing the Tropic Spin again and they can enter again.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to as much talent as we possibly could, you know?
Yes.
So that's good, Janine. So yeah, just tell them to stay tuned to the Caribbean Magazine Plus and you'll see all the updates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it open in July or no?
Yeah, it's open now. Actually, you go to the website now. You can start uploading your music right now. We haven't started
Okay.
advertising yet, but we're gonna start advertising really soon. And so just keep a lookout. But you have the first dibs on getting your music in right now. So go to the same
Okay.
site, tropicspin.com, and you can see exactly how to put your song and your music up.
Yeah, man. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Looking forward to Janine. And you also got a lot of notoriety from the newspapers from that event, didn't you? There were
Yes.
several news organizations that reached out to you.
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
satisfied now that you are the winner? You actually got your prize money and everything, and your certificate.
Yes. Yes. Quite satisfied. You know, everybody's quite, you know, off my case now because they were like, when are you getting the prize money and when is the certificate and when is it? And so they're off my case now, and everybody's happy. You know.
That's
So
good. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
Because they thought it was fake, actually, but it's not fake. It's a real contest, and we're looking for sponsors right now. So if you know any sponsors, please sponsor us, so we can make sure that people like you get the notoriety and the exposure that you guys need. Because it's not just about the music, you know, it's about the audio, visual, and the presentation of the music. Because we believe this digital revolution is happening right now, and we have to grasp onto it, you know. So that's what we're looking for, Janine. So that's enough to my horn. So back to Revolution. How do you feel? Well, Revolution wasn't the first produced song, was it? Yes, it was the first songwritten song, right?
Yeah, that was the first produced written song.
Produced written. So how do you feel about
Yeah.
that? How do you feel that it is actually finished?
It's good, you know, it served its purpose, it continues to serve its purpose. It's still a good song, people still request it. And it's impactful, and for me it was also one of those I would say a song around political movements, around social environmental things, where society basically. I've stepped away a little bit from writing like that for now, but I do feel to go back there. So, you know, yeah.
How many albums do you have now, Janine?
I currently have 2 albums.
The first
Yes.
one was what?
The first album is Stargaze, and the
Stargaze.
second album is Sweet Sway.
Yeah. Yeah, that's out now, right? You have a lot of albums. You have a lot of cuts off of that.
Yes.
That's good. So how do you feel about the second album, Sweet Sway? What do you expect?
I learned from the first album a lot. That I could do better with the second album, promotion wise, marketing wise, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's all stepping stones, and so I felt proud of this second album. And you know, to the point where people are asking, where's the third album? But I'm trying a different strategic method of doing some singles leading up to the third album. Yeah.
Just keep popping them out, Janine. I think practice makes perfect. So once you keep popping them out and keep relevant, then people are going to start becoming more in tune with your music and your writing. I think your writing is your real strong suit, though, because not very many people can actually write music, but you can write music.
Thank you. I didn't know that until in college. You know, it's funny. I've been writing, and from as I said, from a little baby, you know, and so and so it's not until when I was at college, the School of Music at Edna Manley College, that we had a writing course, and then that's when I discovered that not everyone knew how to write, and I just thought it came naturally, you know, for everybody. But you're right, not everybody can write or sing their songs that they do right.
Exactly. No, writing is a real skill. Because I'm a journalist as well, and trust me, writing is a skill. Not everybody can put pen to paper and actually put thoughts and convey thoughts on a piece of paper. That's a real special skill, Janine. You have the skill. God has blessed you. You know,
thank you.
I have to say that. So you were talking a lot about. So you going to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say it's writing songs or poetries and that kind of creative process. It's a little different from writing theory, you know, like essays and long stuff. And but in the same sense, they both require the same side of the brain, the creative parts, you know. And but because I also do research with Music Unites Jamaica Foundation, and I'm writing these features and these composers, and it's like it takes a lot.
Yeah,
it takes a lot.
It really does. It really does. So you were talking a lot about the social scene in Jamaica, though. So what about the music scene in Jamaica? How do you feel about the music scene in Jamaica now?
Well, that's a broad question, actually. To be honest, the music scene, Jamaica is such a diverse country, you know, and like we'll produce something new today and it hasn't reached out to the rest of the world as yet. you know, and the rest of the world is hanging on to something from the 1980s, 1990s, for example. And we're in 2020s right now, and they're talking about trap dancehall and all these things. And there's a different dancehall out there that's developing, you know. And so the music scene in Jamaica is constantly evolving. And then, but there is also the neglect of the other genres. You know, everything is reggae, everything is dancehall or what's hype and what's popping. But we have other genres. We have ska, we have mento, we have folk, we have rock steady. We have the jazz persons like myself, the alternative persons. You have a wider range of different musicians and creative people, but they're being neglected, and that's something that's not. I find that very sad, actually.
So what do you think they have to do to get you guys more involved? The alternative jazz and the ska and the rock steady. What has to
Well,
happen?
I believe they have to give some acknowledgement to those persons as well. You know, have more events that invite those persons to come and perform as well. Just as they give the hype to the reggae. Yes, for tourism, we want to sell the reggae. We love the reggae. That's our music. But we need to have a gateway and avenue for the other genres that also exist here. And then also don't put down the other genres. For example, people would say, oh, jazz is not Jamaican, but there is Jamaican jazz, you know, just as there is Singaporean jazz or that kind of stuff, which is different from American jazz, you know. So we need to give props to our composers, our singers, our performers within those categories, and give them a way to shine as well.
Yeah. Just get out there and let them produce and promote them, you know. Give them
Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, you know, you seek sponsors for certain things. If you're not hype or the next big reggae artist, they're like, oh, we don't want to sponsor you, or unless there's a hype around you, then they want to sponsor you. And it shouldn't be like that, because either way, it's gonna benefit your company.
Yes. Well, I find it kind of funny that people are only sponsoring dancehall music in Jamaica. But here's the thing: your Prime Minister Holness, said he wants to ban some of these gun music, right? How do you feel about that? Do you think that's going to be successful for him to ban free speech?
It hasn't been successful.
I don't think it would have.
No, I mean, he has banned it only on he can only control what he can control, which is public television, public radio. But how many people, what is the demographic numbers that listen to public radio and television? And most people actually hear these things in the buses, the public transportations, on the road, on the internet. You know, you can't control what people want to listen to.
That's what I was wondering. That sounded so strange. I mean, how were you going to do it? I mean, what could he have done? You know? But my thing is, it's like how you made revolution. I believe it was a reflection of the young people in Jamaica. So why would you want to stifle that expression when you actually listen to that and hear exactly what they're saying? Because there was one song that was, I think it's from Skillabang, wap 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 wap. That was the strangest song, but he's speaking about the experience in Jamaica. He's speaking about what's been going on in the streets of Jamaica. So why would you want to stifle that? You should be listening to that, I believe,
and learning from it, and create programs that will guide these people in their creative processes to make it sound better. I mean, because if you're banning Jamaican artists from saying certain things, are we also banning the foreign music that comes in and saying the same thing? For example, I was hearing a song from this girl. I don't remember her name, but it's about airplanes, and in the song you hear pow pow pow. Okay, we have this foreign song on the radio with pow pow pow, literal gunshots, but then you have somebody who's saying wap 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 wap. What's the difference? I mean, somebody's being creative with the sound. Come on now.
Exactly. Yeah, that was a tough sell by Prime Minister Holness, man. But I guess he said he only could control what he could control. So I guess, you know, it is what it is, because they're going to make the music anyway. It's going to be underground. It's going to be in the buses, it's going to be in the clubs, and it's still going to be popular.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have YouTube now. You don't need
and if people are drawn to something that is expressing how they feel, they're going to be drawn to it, and the masses feel very attached to that, and because of that, they're going to continue listening to it and putting it out there, because it's what the artist is doing is just expressing what's happening in society, which is the majority who feel similar to him. So what he needs to do is listen to the music and create programs to change what's going on in society, then the music will change than trying to beat down people.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. That's a wise statement right there, Janine. How old are you, by the way? I'm sorry. You speak like a you speak like
This
a
live, this
60.
live.
Yeah,
I,
it's like you speak like a 70-year-old wise woman. Like you.
I'm 82.
I got you. I got you. No problem, Janine. Speaking more about the social issues in Jamaica, how do you feel about the social issues in Jamaica now? Do you think that's going to tamp down music? You think it's just going to help spur more musical talent, the kind of hunger and the kind of passion that you need for the music?
Well, I went lost there. I'm sorry.
Well, let me rephrase the question. Do you think that the social issues in Jamaica is going to fuel more people with more passion for music, or you think it's just going to like depress people and keep them more down? Because Jamaica has a rich history now of producing people with a lot of hunger for the music, like Buju Banton, like Bob Marley. You know, people who come from a certain particular demographic, and they produce this vibrant music, like people that reach people. So you think that's going to continue? That trend is going to continue in Jamaica, or you think it's just going to die down slowly?
Oh, definitely. Music can never die for our country. Music is Jamaica. You know, we if you're like, you have to be in Jamaica to understand how music is Jamaica. Like, we live, breathe, eat music. We walk in, there's music. We talk in, there's music. Music is the expression of ourselves. We eat in, it's music, you know. I mean, two people can have an argument and just the right song play, argument done. Yeah. You know, so music will never die with us, and we're constantly creating something. A man will hear somebody hitting some bum, bottom, bum, bum, and just start DJing or talking or singing something on it. You know, that is just our culture. So it will never die. It'll just continue evolving.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good, Janine. That sounds good. So what about you though? What about your plans for your music career? What's going to happen with you in the next 5, 10 years now? Where do you see yourself?
Oh, well, where I see myself next 5, 10 years? That's a question I've been asking myself since this year start.
How's your music? But let me ask this: how's your musical career progressing, though? How do you feel it's progressing?
It's slow, but you know, as it progresses, there are things I've learned and things that I'm seeking to achieve, and I've come to understand I need a team. You know, I need a good team, because there's knowledge I know that a lot of people don't know about the industry, but I had to learn that the hard way, you know. But I'm happy for the slow process to have learned that, and I continue to learn. And you know, when I was younger, people were like, oh, you have to meet this person or meet this record label and then you're boss. But in reality, no, it's not like that. You have to understand the industry, understand the market, understand where you fall within the market. So I'm constantly doing market research, constantly trying to seek out, where do I fit in? How can I go beyond the borders of Jamaica internationally? You know, I've passed certain platforms to do like free concerts. For example, I have to look at things. How does it benefit me? How does it benefit my career? How can I eat? That kind of thing. So I'd like to push that beyond the borders of Jamaica, further out, and get out there to perform, collab with international persons. So I've done a few collaborations, like I did one with Elton Nick from South Africa. He did Afro Techno House song that we did together. It was released late last year on his album The Gospel. And so I've reached a little, you know, African, South African market there, and then I'm collaborating with another friend in the UK with another song, and we're just, so through these collaborations I can push myself to break some boundaries. So I'm open for collaborations internationally or even locally, but we have to have a feel, you know. I can't go on any and everything, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. So speaking of Africa though, what do you feel about Afro beats? Apparently, Afro beats is trying to supplant Caribbean music, soca and dancehall. How do you feel about Afro beats now taking over the Caribbean?
I love Afro beats, especially Amapiano. I love it, love it, love it. And you know, the funny thing is, Afrobeats is not even something new. It's always been there. It's always been underground for years, but it's finally getting the attention that it needs. It's finally getting the recognition. Exactly. You know, through TikTok and online streams. I even booked up a song the other day that everybody calls new. And this song was released in 2013. Music video and all, dance challenge and all, and it's just reaching this side, you know.
Yeah.
So it's good, and it reminds me of our music here, where reggae music was once underground music, dancehall was once underground music. It was only amongst our people, and it's all over the world now. So
Yes.
it's good.
So you bust up a song?
Oh, what's that?
You say you bust up a song?
No, I'm a bust up. No, I came across a song.
You gotta be careful of your dialect, because I was like, bust up a song? What are you talking about? Bust
Oh yeah, buck up. Oh, buck up. Sorry, buck
Oh,
up.
buck
Yeah,
up. Buck up to a
buck
song.
up. You
Oh,
know,
buck up.
poof.
Oh, we say that too. Oh, yeah. We buck up to a song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buck up.
Right.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. But I guess bust up a song with me. You know, turn up a song.
Yeah, you try. Yeah. That's good, man, Janine. Oh, you're such good fun, Janine, man. So
Thank
you
you.
said, well, going back to your musical career, and you said you're trying to see yourself in the next 5 years, trying to get more collaborations. Any collaborations on the horizon right now? Anyone that you've actually seen that you're working with right now?
Yeah, but I can't really talk about it, you know, until we reach a certain stage, and then I can, you know, talk about it and stuff. But just look out. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So another question. So aside from the collaborations, right? Are you looking forward to getting more involved with like group projects in Jamaica, like other group projects, musical projects that people are working on? How do you feel like actually songwriting for somebody, songwriting for an album?
Yeah, I would love to do that. That would be a challenge. I would like challenge accepted, you know. Yeah, so I would love to take up such a challenge to write for somebody, because I've been writing for myself, and to write for somebody else would be, you know, a little different, you know. And it's also like, it's like writing like the jingles, you know.
Yes.
You have to think about the company, you have to think about the product. It's the same thing with writing a song for a person. You have to think about that person, that voice type, you know, what have they done in the past, what they want to do in the future, that kind of stuff. So I'd like that challenge.
Now, speaking about the jingle, because people don't realize you actually wrote the jingle for the Line Vibe broadcast, didn't you? So how was that
Line
process? People love it. Actually, it's very distinctive. It's Oz. It's Oz, Janine. It's Oz. So
Yes.
so how was that process going, creating the jingle for Line Vibe?
Okay, so I know when you approached me, I was like short notice and thing, but I said, let me see how I can do it, you know. And I was actually cooking in the kitchen at the same time, and I brought my laptop up, and I just put it to start my keyboard and just started doing things.
While
And
you
I
were
was like,
cooking, you were cooking while you were making my jingle.
yes, I was. I was cooking food while cooking your jingle.
Yeah.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen. In the kitchen.
Yes.
That's right. In the kitchen. Making up something special.
Yes,
So,
and there were limes beside me as well in the kitchen.
really?
So
Okay. That was God speaking that day. That was God
yes,
speaking that fateful day.
yes,
So that was
yes.
the process. So how did you actually put it all together?
Well, I just, you know, I thought, you know, you want to have that Caribbean feel. And for me, when I think Caribbean, I think steel pans, you know, the first instrument made from the Caribbean in the
Yes.
21st century, steel pans. So representing the Caribbean through the steel pans, and then the rhythm, and just the melodies come in, and it just gelled really nicely together.
Yes, it's very mellow.
Yeah.
The steel pan was made in Trinidad, you know it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I was shocked to find that out. Actually, I don't know why I was so shocked, because it was so obvious, right? But I didn't realize they actually created a musical instrument. I was like,
Yes.
wow,
Yes.
it's
And
Oz.
yes, not many. I don't think there's any other instrument to say have made in the 21st century, but then there's a hang drum and some other instruments. So I'm not sure if how true that is anymore, but research, you know, nobody quote me, but it was once said. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta go on your musical history research there, Janine. You gotta
Yeah.
find out.
But I know the hang drum was based off the steel pan, where they turned it upside down. And they use the fingers instead of sticks. So maybe that's the newest one. But you're right. I have to go do some research in that.
Yeah. So you could be a full historian, a full musician.
Yes.
So you know exactly what's going on through it.
Yes.
So Janine, we've been talking all day, and you haven't told me anything about yourself. So what about you? How's Janine? What is Janine up to? What else does Janine do other than music?
Okay, other from music, which is a lot related to music. So also I am the administrative manager slash projects coordinator slash researcher with a foundation called Music Unites Jamaica Foundation. And with that foundation, we do research on composers, and we also seek scholarships for students and create symposiums and programs to educate society on our musical history as Jamaicans. So we go back to the, what is it, 19th century, with Samuel Felstead being the first, it is said the first composer in the Americas who was Jamaica. And he created the first oratorio in the Americas within that time. And so that is great. So that goes back to our first Jamaican history. You know, he was the biggest one before Bob Marley. You know what I'm saying? So we have to create awareness of these composers to the world, you know, where just like you have Vivaldi and Beethoven, we have a Samuel Felstead. For example. So I do research. We have our team. We get sponsorship to make programs happen, to create concerts, and we also working on a book to come out on influential Jamaican composers that's been sponsored by the Jamaica National Foundation. And so we're seeking a matching grant sponsor to continue the research further. So yes. So hence my musicology and sense is going up, you know. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is I also work with my mom in her plant nursery business. So that's the nature aspect.
So you guys grow fruit trees or just non fruit bearing trees?
Both. You know, depends. It's more exotic kind of fruit trees, like you know, and gingers, conias, and these kind of shrubberies as well. Yeah.
That's good.
Exotic tropical stuff.
Another thing too, you're involved in the orchestra, aren't you, as well? You have a love of the orchestra, right?
I have a love of the orchestra because my early career started off in classical music, singing classical arias, that kind of stuff. Yes.
Okay. So what other instruments do you play?
I play guitar, and I'm learning the ukulele. A little baby image one here, not a real one. My sister got me as a present.
Oh, that's good. She's a nice
Yes,
sister.
yes. I also am learning the flute, and I play keyboard, and I'm learning the harmonica. Yes.
Learn the harmonica. Okay. I like to see a one woman show. So you produce all your music as well? You play all your instruments on your songs?
Some, not all. You know, if I'm to perform, I will perform with the guitar. The others, I'm not so confident, but in recording, I can play around with them in the recordings.
Just keep Janine. I see a young Prince in you. I see a musical genius like Prince. Yes, I see it. I gotta speak it into your existence, you know, because you know Prince played mostly all of his instruments when he was recording his songs, especially the early Prince. He played all of the instruments, and he only went with the band when he had to go live because he couldn't do it live, right? But he only had the guitar, but he played all of his instruments for his music. So Prince was a genius, and I see that in you, Janine.
Thank you.
Yeah, just keep doing what you do. I see great things for you in your future, man.
Thank you.
So, Janine, any final thoughts you have to tell us about what's going on with you in your life and your musical career?
I'm just pushing forward, you know, and I thank everybody for the support. And, you know, with the support that's been helping me to continue going forward. And you know, just keep supporting me, keep helping, you know, keep helping a musician to eat. Thank you. You know,
one thing we didn't touch on though, what about this digital revolution we have now with all the YouTube and all the Facebook? How's that generating revenue for you now for your musical career?
Yeah, well, you have to know how to use it, you know, and the funny thing is with that, like for example, social media, the more followers you have is the more income you can generate. And when it comes to YouTube, when your music is registered on a platform like TuneCore or CD Baby, and more people watch that, that generates some sense income for you. When they play your music on Spotify, that kind of stuff, you have income coming. And so for an independent artist, that's been very helpful to get out there and pushing that out there, because then we don't have to depend on our record label for certain things. But to get in the broader market, that's when the record label will come in. because it's easier for them who have the contacts around the world and you trying to make a contact in 158 countries yourself,
Yeah,
you know.
being independent. I got you.
Yes.
Being independent. Yeah. But the question just missed my mind. Just so, which record label are you signed to now, though?
I'm not signed to any record label at the moment, and I'm creating my own record label.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a project for you for 2023 or 2024?
2024, working towards that, you know. It's a work in progress.
Okay, you're gonna sign your own artists. You're gonna be a boss instead
Well,
of
I start with myself first, and we'll see where it goes from there. Because as an independent artist, just being there, not without a label, it says something. But when you create your own label, because this is how most independent artists do that thing, you create your own label, register that, and then that puts you a notch above the rest, and also getting certain benefits in the industry.
benefits like what?
Benefits of revenue through royalties, for example, you know, you being a producer and you signed your record label, you know, that kind of stuff. And joining certain societies, it puts you a notch against the up against the rest. And also, if you know, record labels looking for you and you're signed to your own label, then they say, okay, can't joke with this girl, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
she's with a label. Yeah. So music isn't just singing a song. It's a lot of work behind it. Tell me more about the work behind it, though, because people think it's just getting up and singing a song, but it's actually a lot of work, a lot of business behind it. Tell me about the business you like.
Yes, which is why I said I learned from the first album. Okay, so the first album, you know, we printed CDs during the time of CDs, and we would physically sell it to people and that kind of stuff. But now in the digital era, not many people want to buy CDs. Yes, there are people who require it, who actually want to buy CDs, but financially wise, you have to look at how much CDs to print. Are you going to be generating an income with that or not? And then, so you have to look at yourself as a CEO of your company. Yes, I'm the artist, but I'm also the CEO, and I'm also the accountant, and I'm also the PR person. So once we release a song, we have to have a plan of action, just like any product. Think of it as a hat. A song is a product. How can I sell this song, and how can I get this song to generate income towards me as well? So we have to use our image to a brand, basically, to sell the music, and then also have the music sell itself and bring in other generated incomes.
Wow. So it's not just singing a song, it's actually a lot of work, Janine.
No, and that's why when people ask for a third album as well, I have to say, okay, I have to look at how much did the second album make me, and then I have to look at financially, can I manage to produce a third album, or how do I generate the income or capital to make that happen, and then how do I make back up on that capital? So yes, it is a business, and it's a lot behind it.
Yeah, I can imagine, because it's now with the digital age now, with the music video production, that's another cost that you guys have, right?
Yes.
So
yeah, and then also people may see it online, and you have to do online sales, you know, advertisements as well, you know, to make more people see it and more people hear you. And that's another cost factor. So it's you have to have a plan of action, and look at it at all angles, and the promotions. Like talking to you here is a promotion.
There you go. That's what it's for. It's for people like you, Janine. It's for people like you. So hopefully this will go viral, and tell people how serious the music industry is in Jamaica, and the opportunities for the digital platform that provides for Jamaican artists like yourself. Because believe it or not, you're the only Caribbean country that can actually monetize Facebook and YouTube. You're not, right?
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, Jamaica is the only country in the Caribbean that can actually monetize Facebook and YouTube.
Wow.
No other country in the Caribbean. So you guys are lucky. You guys are the first, and so you guys should have a jump on everybody.
Yes.
So
that's good to know.
The gods have smiled on Jamaica. You guys have been doing something behind the scenes that people trust you guys. Yeah.
Yes. Give thanks.
So there you have it, Janine. So Janine, once again, thank you for coming on the Line Vibe podcast. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best for your future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janine. Good.
Bye.